People come from all walks of life. They all have lives they lead. Any and all are welcome here to come and chat with me.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. I always admire people who make big changes in their lives, perhaps a new career choice or maybe relocating. Well, today's guest has done both in a major way. Ladies and gentlemen, Haneih Shahmohamadian.
Yes.
You can correct me if I did it wrong.
Yes, it's right. Hi, everyone. My name is Haneih Shahmohamadian.
That's great. Thank you. Okay, so I know that you're from Iran originally, correct?
Yes.
What were you doing? What work did you have when you were there?
Actually, many years ago, I changed my job from a professional mathematics teacher to my dream job as a social worker.
That's quite a difference.
Yes, exactly.
Go ahead.
In my country, I was a mathematics teacher, but actually in 2016, I came to the Canada with my family, with my daughter and my husband. And I was thinking with myself, is the best solution to integrate to the Canada to be volunteer in place. So I was a volunteer in Readaptation Center, and I work between the social workers.
I'm just thinking about the change coming from in the Middle East to a new culture, new language, like everything is different. That must have been really difficult.
Exactly. It was very, very difficult for me. Especially in Montreal, because right now I'm in Montreal. The first language actually is French and after English. So it was very, very different for me to understand what's going on because I know a little bit English, right? But in French, no. I didn't have any idea.
Yeah, I grew up in Montreal, so I understand what you're saying, about the language, right? But right. I'm Canadian, so
exactly,
it's a big difference for me than it is for you compared to you. Okay, so you came here with your family, so you volunteered, and that helped you. That volunteering work helped you move into your career, correct?
Right.
So how did that? Explain how that came about.
Right. Actually, my interest to work with vulnerable population is not limited in Iran. When I was in Iran, I worked with the students, with the family, and sometimes as my hobby. Just in the summer, I work in the some places for the women, and I was training them something relevant to the cooking, to prepare them for the job.
Yeah.
Actually, when I came in Montreal, I started a short year after immigrating to Canada from Iran. I decided to volunteer in Chrome, in Readaptation Center. I have been working in a parenting group as a facilitator and as a research assistant in order to better understand and advocate the importance of mothers with intellectual disabilities. To help them to integrate it to actually to social activities, and promoting their interaction and economic sectors, and expanding on support and services needs to them. And also I was engaged as a co-educator in working with children with autism spectrum. A little bit about 6 months, I think. And it was a very, very great experience for me. So I understood what's going on, what the social work means in Canada, because in my country is totally different, the task.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was interested to change my profession.
One of the things you mentioned in your bio, you said, and even now you said you volunteer at Chrome. What is that?
It's a rehabilitation center
Oh, okay.
for mothers with intellectual disabilities and also for children with autism spectrum.
It seems like, at least at the very beginning, you did a lot of things. Like, how did you have time? I mean, because you must have also been trying to learn more English, right? Because I
Right.
imagine you had a little bit of English when you came to Canada, correct?
Right. Actually, I was at the first, I participated in the French class about, I think, 6 months.
So yeah.
And after that, I registered in continuing a study for learning proficiency English for the communication and something else. And I got my certificate after 1 year. So I applied for a School of Social Work. And I met accidentally the director of the School of Social Work, and I talked with her that I'm so interested to take a course here. I want to be a social worker. So she suggested to me just take a course as a special student.
Right.
To learn what the social work is, if I would like to continue or not.
One of the things, again, in your bio, you mentioned that there were people that helped you along the way, people that you met, and they were really willing to give you information or guide you in the areas where you needed to go, correct?
Yes, exactly. When I participate in the French class, I talked with one of my professor that I wanted to continue be a chef.
Really?
Actually, I wanted to register in the cooking class to get certificate.
Right.
But my professor in French class, she advised me that it's not very, very appropriate for you because you very engineer in your country. So it would be best just continue your career. Besides, you can just participate in the cooking class after. But in this situation, she suggested just continue my career. So after that, I met with some social workers from Chrome, Laura Pacheco and Melinda Dadamo, amazing social workers that they advised me a lot and just supported me and giving me some hope that I want to be a good social worker. And also I met many amazing professors in the School of Social Workers that they supported me a lot.
Speaking about meeting people, how did you meet my great niece, Samara?
Samara?
Yes. Samara Dada, she's my great niece.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, she was my classmate.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
I was curious about that because that's how I friended you. I saw that you were friends with her.
Oh.
And I read your on your Facebook page, I read some of your, what you had done and where, and I thought, oh, you would make a really good interview, I just want to ask you like a little bit personal questions in that. Sure. I don't mean private life. I don't mean that sort of thing, but what do you still miss about Iran, or what are you okay with now?
Actually, sometimes Western culture surprised me.
Yeah.
When I work with older adults in my stage, in my country, respect to older is very, very special.
Okay.
But in Canada, it was very, very. I don't want judge people,
Yeah.
but there is a little bit different.
It's not the same. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not as the same, you know. It was very, very hard to understand, to accept it.
Right. I know you're right, because like my son lives in China, and China, they're the same with the elderly or the older people. Their parents live with them or whatever. It's totally different culture, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also respect to the professor is very, very special. You know, we can't call our professor with first name, for example.
Right. Yeah, I think it's much more respectful in that it's a privilege to be there kind of attitude, right?
Exactly.
I think, you know, just thinking about it, like that's what's so wonderful for people to travel, whether that's, you know, from Iran or any other country, because you get to see the different cultures and the different ways of respect. And North America, you know, I don't want to put people down, but it's totally not the same, right?
Exactly.
So now, okay, so you're currently still doing social work, of course, right?
Actually, I finished about 1 month ago, and I'm doing just preparing myself for Order of the Quebec. It's an exam for social workers professional, which is in French.
Mm-hmm.
So after, I want to apply for a job.
Very good. Speaking of languages, what's easier to learn, French or English?
Actually, I can understand French and write it. It's as the same, but you know, in a school of social work in McGill, my language was in English, my writing and speaking.
I see. Okay. Do you have time for any hobbies, any other special interests that don't have to do with work related?
Sure. I like decorating, some cakes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like it. And also, I like doing a ski, swimming, or something else, because I have a daughter, and I try to just divide my some tasks between my study, my homeworks, and my work, and also my daughter.
Now tell me, but that's interesting, because how old was your daughter when you came here?
She was 5 years old. Right now, she's around 11 years old.
11 years old. And I think like lots of times it's much easier for children to assimilate, right?
Exactly. For my daughter, she speaks very, very fluently. Actually, she participated about 2 years in Iranian school in Montreal, and she can write in my language, my mother language. But actually, I can say her first language is in French.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Well, it's been great. I hope we covered everything. That your bio was so interesting, by the way. You know, I really enjoyed it, and hope to meet you one day in person. That would be awesome. Sure. Next time I go to Montreal.
Sure. It's my pleasure.
Okay. So thanks again. I'm just stay on camera, and I'm just going to say goodbye to the audience. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's interview, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, peace out, everyone.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's a place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's a place to be, you'll see.